It's like my mouth just doesn't work like it should do sometimes. Story about Shababa. Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben and today we're diving into a fascinating and chilling film, Netflix's new thriller, Woman of the Hour, directed by none other than Kendrick, who also stars in the film. This movie is based on a true story and Kendrick has chosen quite a bold narrative for her directorial debut. I'll talk about the direction, the acting, especially the serial killer portrayal, the tone, the score, and the profound themes in this gripping story. But first, let me set the scene with the true story that The Woman of the Hour is based on. The film follows the real case of Rodney Alcala, also known as the dating game killer. Now, if you don't know, Alcala was a convicted serial killer and rapist who appeared on the American game show That Dating Game in 1978 while amid his killing spree. It's as crazy as it sounds, and that's the chilling core of this film. Kendrick's character, Cheryl Bradshaw, plays the bachelorette on the show, essentially tasked with picking a date among three men, one of whom is Alcala. This film explores the disturbing juxtaposition of a light-hearted game show with the terrifying undercurrent of real evil sitting right there on national TV. I don't know if you've ever played that game where you look at someone and say to yourself, yep, that dude's one bar away from a triple bypass. Yeah, you might say that about me, fair enough. Or that girl looks like she's about to strangle me. Or that dude is wearing what looks like serial killer clothes. Some of my inner thoughts shouldn't be spoken out loud, I realize that. Like those intrusive thoughts that say jump, it'll be fine. My thoughts, though, for a while have been a guardian of sorts, and I think this is how it works for most of us. When the hair stands on the back of your neck and you have a shitometer, you'll look at someone seemingly innocent and your shitometer will go off. This whole story brings credence to that argument. So do you listen to the voices in your head? How many are there and what are their names? Let me know in the comments. But after that tangent, right off the bat, Anna Kendrick's direction is impressive. It's clear that she came prepared to tackle some serious material, and she does it with confidence and the subtlety that you don't often see in first-time directors. Kendrick strikes this delicate balance between tension and dark humor. The tone is eerie, yes, but it's also unsettlingly normal. Unsettling how Alcala's creepiness is masked by charm. That's where Kendrick really shines in terms of how she frames the story. She doesn't just focus on the crimes, she pulls back the layers of societal complacency, showing how we sometimes fail to recognize danger even when it's right in front of us. I have to say, it's a stark reminder of how entertainment can desensitize us to real horrors. As for the acting, Kendrick as Cheryl is good at what the role calls for. She's both vulnerable and fierce. You can see the discomfort growing in her eyes as the game show progresses. Cheryl thinks she knows something is off, but she doesn't quite have the power to do anything about it to escape the moment or the situation she's in. So you're there, stuck with her, and Kendrick plays this wonderfully. Kendrick captures the internal battle beautifully. Then we come to Daniel Zovato, who plays Rodney Alcala. Wow, his portrayal is bone-chilling. He has this eerie magnetism and nails the duality of Alcala's personality. One moment, he's smooth-talking, charming, and almost likable. The next, you feel the coldness in his eyes. It's like he's wearing two masks throughout the entire movie, and Zovato manages to pull you into his psyche without overplaying them. He's not a cartoonish villain, he's dangerously real. Alcala, in real life, was a highly intelligent man who fooled so many people, and Zovato's performance brings that unsettling quality to the forefront. I was bothered at how well he could drop the mask of likable to serial killer. It is an unreasonably good performance. The tone of the movie is where Kendrick rarely plays with expectations. You go from the brightly lit, almost silly atmosphere of the game show to the darker, more intense scenes that showcase Alcala's twisted reality. The way these two worlds collide is unnerving, and it sets an effective way to make you feel off balance as a viewer. It reminded me a little bit of David Fincher's masterpiece about the Zodiac Killer, where the ordinary and horrific overlap in such a disconcerting way. One of the film's strongest elements is how it delves into the theme of perception versus reality. Alcala presented himself as this charming, intelligent man who the public and even the game show producers were fooled by. But beneath that, he was this monster hiding in plain sight. Kendrick doesn't just let you forget the discomfort of that idea, that we as a society can be so easily duped by charisma and surface level charm. It's a disturbing commentary on how often we overlook red flags when they're staring right at us in the face. And that's a theme that resonates far beyond the story of Alcala. It's relevant to many facets of life, particularly in the age of social media, where appearances can be so deceptive. So let's talk about the score, which is hauntingly effective. It doesn't overpower the film, it just lingers in the background, adding this quiet tension that builds throughout the movie. The music mirrors Alcala's predatory nature, quiet, patience, and waiting to strike. And in the game show sequences, there's this almost ironic brightness to the music that makes you feel like you're watching something innocent and fun, which makes the eventual reveals all the more horrifying. The way the score works in conjunction with the cinematography creates this dissonance that keeps you on edge, which I loved. The themes of the movie are profound. You've got the obvious one, the idea of monsters hiding in plain sight, but it also touches on the exploitation of women in media and how entertainment can blur the lines between reality and fiction. Cheryl Bradshaw's character is essentially put in a vulnerable position by the very nature of the game show, which highlights this power imbalance. Kendrick doesn't shy away from showing how women were and still are sometimes treated as objects or prizes. There's also a critique on the broader cultural sensationalism of how these real horrifying events can become just another form of entertainment. I'd be remiss not to compare this film to something like Nightcrawler, where Jake Gyllenhaal's character thrives in a world obsessed with consuming tragedy. While Woman of the Hour isn't as focused on the media's culpability, it does make you question how much responsibility entertainment industries have when they exploit people for ratings without understanding the real danger. And with live action TV that is so popular now, I do wonder whether more safeguards should be put in place for this. In the end, Kendrick's debut is a strong and thoughtful entry into the thriller genre, though at times it does feel like it's taking too long to get to the point. It's not a slow burn of a thriller, but instead it has a slow pace at times that seems more like it was trying to be slow for the art of the story rather than the story's art for driving the pacing. It's a slight niggle for me, but not a massive one. I can't see myself returning to this film that often either. That's not a negative on the film, or acting or direction. It's just a story that is a one and done, like so many others are. As far as themes go, they're all told well, and it's filmed well, it's shot well, and directed well. But there isn't anything remarkable about the film that makes me want to go back and watch it like a David Fincher movie. It's still good though, and I definitely couldn't have done better. But as a first-time director, I find this one hell of a debut. It's not a slasher film or a typical true crime retelling, it's more of a psychological examination of how we interact with evil when we don't even realize it's there. Kendrick's direction and her performance alongside Zavato's terrifying portrayal of Alcala make for a deeply unsettling watch. This film makes you think of the nature of evil, how easy it is to miss danger signs, and how sometimes entertainment can mask the horrors of what's happening right in front of us. I give Woman of the Hour 3.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one.
So should you watch Woman of the Hour? Yes. It's not just a story about a serial killer. It's a story about society, about the things that we overlook until it's too late. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the film. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.